I'm going to talk about putting your garden to bed. So I'm standing here in my cutting garden, or the raised beds where I grow mostly flowers for cutting, and I'm going to talk to you about 3 specific perennial plants. Those are plants that come back year on year. They could get a special treatment now that it is October and time to think about putting your garden to bed, and then some other plants that you just leave alone. So it's too early to do anything to plants like these beautiful dahlias. So dahlias that are still in bloom, they're going to give me maybe another month's worth of flowers until a killing frost knocks them down. There's some more dahlias right up here. But look what we have up here in front. These are the stems of lilies. Now the lilies bloom in July. I cut the flower heads off, leaving as much stem as possible. Why? Because this stem and the green leaves is manufacturing food for next year's lilies. However, these lilies here have green of the leaves. Behind them, back here, ta-da-da, these are brown. Once it's brown, cut it down. That is a general rule of green thumb when it comes to putting the garden to bed. So I'm just going to get down here. I'm cutting these off, but I'm leaving about 2 inches of stem. The reason, so in the spring, it reminds me that there's lily bulbs right underneath that stem, and I'm not going to dig into that area and try to add something else. Now, if it's brown, cut it down. There's also the chop and drop. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to chop these stems to little pieces and just drop them. I'm going to let them compost in place. Now, a plant that you should not be pruning is salvia. This is a hot lip salvia plant. When you prune something like a salvia that really wants to be a perennial, it tends to not go into winter dormancy, and it can die back and freeze too soon. So don't cut back your salvias. I wait until late spring, like May, when I see new growth. Now the other plant I have here is phlox. Okay, so here's garden phlox, just finishing up its bloom. You can see these great big tall ones. They're done blooming. I'm going to cut these in about half. The reason is if I leave them super tall, the wind can rock them back and forth and shove them out of the ground. So I'm going to fold them a little bit. I'll have to chop them and just drop them at the base of the mother plant, creating kind of a little mulch. Sometimes they have a, ooh, it's so satisfying. They just snap right off. Snap in pieces and drop them. So taking out the flowers here. Now in front, you see this plant, the nasturtium. Nasturtiums are annuals. That means you need to plant them every year. But I'm not going to uproot the entire plant like I would maybe a petunia, because nasturtiums will reseed. So I'm going to let them sit here. They make little seed pods. They drop the seed pods to the ground, and then they'll sprout next year without me having to do anything. So here I'm going to go throughout the garden. If it's brown, I cut it down. If it still has some green, it's going to give me some more color. If it's done blooming and it's tall, I'll shorten it up. And in general, I'm going to wait another month until November before I cut down things that are still giving me flowers, like dahlias and also some roses that I have bloomed. Hope this helps with your garden cleanup this fall. This has been Marianne Binetti with Easy Answers for Great Gardens.